This is going to be a long video. What's up, dudes? It's been a minute since we did a tutorial based video on this channel. What we're gonna do is animate a logo. Keep in mind, it took me about 4 hours to animate this logo yesterday, so obviously I'm not gonna make a 4-hour video, but I'm gonna try and give you a pretty high level overview of how it was done. So this is what we started with, and then after the animation, this is what we ended up with. Pretty cool, huh? I took that image and I put it right inside of Photoshop. We isolated each layer. When you put it all together, we've got our logo minus the background. So what we did from there was we took that Photoshop file and we imported it into After Effects. Each one of these is a separate layer, as you can see, just like we did in Photoshop. There's all of my layers right here, plus a few more. All these little diamonds right here. These are all called keyframes. They tell your footage, its position, its scale, its rotation. Between keyframes, things are changing. First thing we did was took the lady and the man. All I have them doing basically is just coming towards one another to form this heart in the center. So these keyframes right here are position and scale. I turned all of these layers into 3D objects, so I could use not only X and Y, but I could use the Z axis also. X goes this way, Y goes up and down. Z goes forward and back. That is where you add that third dimension. And what I wanted to do, this is a dance company. So what I wanted to do was kind of show them spinning, twirling, coming towards one another, almost as if they were dancing. As we go forward, they spin, they meet in the middle, and when they land, they are in their original position from the static logo. Next, we animated the heart. As the man and woman are fading on and spinning, we wait till right about here to start introducing the heart. We start to fade the heart on. You can see it there. And all we have that heart doing is coming at us in Z space, in that third dimension. Now we have essentially reassembled part of our logo. As the spin happens, boom, we get the heart right in there, and that's where it sets. It's at full opacity at that point, and it's in the correct position. From there, we have that starting to fade up. These keyframes right here are what makes that start to fade up. And that looks cool, right? Our logo is back to its original design. So all we did was took and isolated each element of the logo, and then we animated it together to basically reassemble the logo. I'm gonna get to where we added some cool camera moves. You know, make it cool looking. Instead of manipulating the logo at this point, what we did was basically took a virtual camera and started manipulating the camera. The logo at this point is just sitting steady. That's it. It's not doing anything. It's static, completely static. You're gonna see some movement because I animated a camera. Now, the camera also is in 3D. It has the X, Y, and Z space. So we've manipulated all of those different axes, maybe? I don't know. This is what we have now. These two figures right here have gotten quite large and close to the camera. The data that we manipulated with the camera is the point of interest and the position of the camera. So where the camera looks and where the camera is in this virtual space. We started out very close. We're zooming out while the heart hits and lands. And then from there, we continue to zoom out. So the integral enrichment can kind of pop up. This is a camera move. So from these keyframes right here to these keyframes, we are taking the camera and we are zooming in at a pretty high velocity past the logo in 3D space. Definitely a lot more interesting visually than what we started with. I wanted to add something in the background. There is a thing called particle world. So as you can see, we're starting to get these dots, okay, Kind of almost looks like snow that's out of focus. They're kind of purple and white, and they match our logo quite nicely. This is not a tutorial on Particle World. To use it comfortably, it took me probably months to learn. We start. We've got our particles starting to fade onto screen along with our two figures. There's our particles. They're moving around back there. There's our logo. And when we zoom in past our logo, we are zooming in past our particles as well. And we're ending out there in deep space, deep Z space. We selected all of these layers. We right click and we went to pre-compose. Pre-compose puts everything basically in a nested sequence. If you know what that is, it kind of lumps everything together. We brought it into another composition. This is where I add my final touches. So what we did was put a lens flare on our pre-comp 2 layer. And all that really does is just shine a light at the very end, right across the front of our logo. Kind of makes it glow a little bit. Highlights the logo, separates it from the background, makes it look good. That's without the lens flare, that's with the lens flare. The only other thing that we did inside of this composition is added this light. So let's make our screen kind of small and we'll drag that light way off the side. As you can see, we just took the light completely off of our logo, our screen. Let's undo that, put that light right where it belongs, and this is what turned into our final logo. The guy and the girl are coming in to form the heart. Our particles are falling in the background. Our heart's popping up, filling that void. It sets, it moves back. We reveal integral enrichment. We highlight that logo with a nice lens flare and a light, and then we let it set so people can see the logo, get familiar with it. And right at the end, we go and we zoom through Z-Space. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm very excited to show the client and see what they think. Those are pretty much the basic steps of how we did this. It is not a very beginner-friendly tutorial, but I did want to show you. I thought it was really interesting. Yesterday when I was doing this, I was thinking, man, this would be awesome to just kind of, show you guys what I do at work. And this is what I do. This is a part of what I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did get down there, hit that subscribe button. See ya.